Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. Congratulations to England women's national team for winning the Euros, of course. For everyone that is saying, oh, the women succeed and the men can't do it. It's actually what happened. Of course. A penalty kicks and the women win the Euros. Yeah, listen, it's good for them. Congratulations to all the England national team supporters, of course. The ladies have done it, but the men can do it. It is what it is. The men have failed since '66 until this moment. So maybe this is a sign that this is their year. The World Cup is here, and England can win the World Cup, you know? They reached the Euro finals. I'm doing fine. How's everyone doing? There is a lot to talk about. But before we go on and talk about what is going on, hit that like button, people. Subscribe to the channel. Over 300 people in the house. And we haven't even hit that like button. This is your Sholo So, as usual, your daily content with Footy Judge Mo, of course. And we are here to discuss all your opinions because there's a lot to discuss. There is the Arsenal game that was played earlier today, of course. And there is a talk about Martin Odegaard and the left winger, and Arsenal must sign a left winger, of course. We're going to talk about it. Of course, we're going to talk about Luis Diaz leaving Liverpool for 75 million euros. So Liverpool are making a profit on a player that is 29 years old. Is absolute a masterclass from Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards. And that means there is a bid coming for Alexander Isak. And they're waiting to sell as well Darwin Núñez as well. There is a bid. So embrace yourself for a bid that is coming in the next couple of days, or maybe tomorrow, for Alexander Isak once Liverpool and Bayern Munich finalize. What does it mean for the league having Isak now? There is the talk from Eddie Howe that saying that Isak is impossible to join Newcastle in their tour in Asia, of course, as it is reported. There are other news that Livramento that will complete Manchester City. I wanted to talk a little bit about Man City and the chances of them winning the league and how the team look next season if they sign Livramento, because now everyone is jumping ship from Manchester City, of course. And there is the true Geordie. What is the true Geordie thing that I have seen yesterday? And I wanted to actually discuss this with you guys. There is the Gyokeres, whatever. Where is it? The true Geordie thing that he ranted about Liverpool and about, of course, Newcastle and all. I thought, yeah, this is the one. He's saying that the league is rigged.
We're going to talk about it. Is he salty? Is he not? We'll talk about it, but we're going to start with the news. And there is the news about Arsenal, of course, with William Saliba renewing his contract, of course. And everyone is now looking at Arsenal and thinking, what can Arsenal do? Of course, William Saliba is saying that they're going to win everything today. We saw them against Newcastle today. Is the team ready to win the league or the Champions League? Of course, there are the other news about Donnarumma linked to the mighty Chelsea. Of course, that he has 1 year left. He doesn't want to sign a contract, and Chelsea are in for him. The problem with all this news about him and Chelsea and all the stuff is that he's going to demand a lot of wages. But I'm not here to validate this. It's from L'Equipe in France. Of course, we are here to talk about what happens if Donnarumma joins Chelsea. Does that make them title contenders right away or not? Of course, there are news about Eze. Arsenal are ready to pay £30 million up front and 2 installments of £35 million, and that will bring Eze, of course. And also there are the talks about Eddie Howe, and this video that I wanted to share with you with one of my favorite presenters on TV, Jordan Jarrett Bryan, in the podcast with Lee Judges and Turkish, saying that Madueke might turn out to be Mohamed Salah or Kevin De Bruyne. Of course, that is what we're going to talk about. You just stick with us because we are going to be having a great show as normal, the show. So support the channel, guys, by hitting the like button. People, listen, we got 500 people in the house and we need the likes up. It's a Sunday evening and I'm sitting here and absolutely doing the show. I actually want to start with the Livramento news that everyone is talking about. And all I have to say about this, and let me do the timestamps because people complain and cry that Mo doesn't do the timestamps. I'm going to start by doing timestamps, but you have to bear with me. Livramento to City talk, of course. How good is the City team? I'm going to say that my friend German Chicken Wing, who is in the comment section currently, keep telling me that, listen, Mo, we are a good team. Everyone is ruling us out. They're seeing Man City are underdogs. And I want to hear what people think in the chat. Everyone is talking about Arsenal. Everyone is talking about Liverpool with Isak. Everyone is talking about this and that. But nobody is talking about Liverpool, that Man City with Pep Guardiola, that bold fraud, the best manager on the planet. Of course, no one is actually talking about it, that City can actually win the league. I actually saw the City team. Let me check, because City team, of course, there is the picture of the City team and it says that can the City team win the league next season, of course. And I wanted to share Livramento. And that City team is very strong. And they have Manchester City, 5 hours, have convinced Tino Livramento that to leave the dusty Newcastle. Okay, this is ridiculous. There is a lot of talk about Livramento. And also, are Man City going to stop at Livramento? They have Nouri, and now they got Rodri, they got Reinders, they got Cherki. Is anyone here thinking that Man City can actually win the league? Because nobody's talking about Manchester City, you know? No one is talking about how good Manchester City are. Like people said that Dusty Newcastle. To be honest with you, Newcastle have been dismantled. They have been dismantled. Is it fair? Is it not fair? I will talk about it in a bit, but let me just tell you something. If City have Guardiola center back, Nouri, and they have Livramento at the right side, Diaz, who's not a bad defender, is not a bad defender. You got Rodri in the midfield. You got Reinders. In front of them, you got Bernardo. You got Foden or whatever. Haaland, Bernardo on the right or Foden. You got Omar Marmoush. I actually think that is a very competitive team. And that team needs to be at least be feared in the league. And I just wanted to ask you guys, are we sitting here and just actually saying that City team cannot win the league completely? Or, here you go, people want to talk about City. We must stop Liverpool from building this super team. You can't stop them. And why are you saying that you need to stop? Why do you need to stop Liverpool? Man City should be feared. Without a shadow of a doubt. Here you go. Someone is saying they shouldn't be feared, of course. People say that Ait Nouri is absolute shite. Ait Nouri is one of the best left backs in the league. And if you tell me that he doesn't fit Man City, you actually don't watch football. Ait Nouri suit Man City to the T. The left back of Man City plays as a left winger. And that is Ait Nouri. Like, listen, Ait Nouri, in my opinion, will actually be very successful at Manchester City. He's going to be phenomenal. And everyone is going to fear playing that man. You talk about defense, the left back for City never even defended before. They played with Gvardiol used to play left wing for Man City. He used to play left winger for Man City. You remember when Gvardiol used to be the guy crashing the 18, going forward and doing this and that? That is going to be Ait Nouri, but he's been better than Gvardiol as a left winger. And now Gvardiol, by the way, people say that Gvardiol was a left back and he was great. He was one of the best left backs in the league. I actually disagree with everyone. I actually saw Gvardiol at the end of the season as center back, and he is phenomenal. Like, he is, as a center back, his ceiling is probably as high as it can be. Gvardiol as a center back is ridiculous. And that is what I used to say back in the days. Why isn't he? Right? Why isn't he played as center back? And because they didn't have a left back, and Pep Guardiola wanted to try a lot of people. I genuinely think that people that want to play Gvardiol as left back, they've deluded. He's a great center back. He is someone that actually can lead that Man City defense. Remember, Gvardiol is young. I think he's 23, if I'm not mistaken, or 24. And I genuinely believe that with Gvardiol, City will build a good defense. Imagine if City go and sign another center back. I know that they are trying to actually not sign a center back, and they're going to stick with Diaz, Stones, and Ake. But is Diaz good enough? The thing about Diaz and Ruben Diaz is that we have seen Ruben Diaz win Player of the Season, and we have seen Ruben Diaz actually be a shit defender. So it depends on what system City play, how much teams will attack Manchester City, right? The problem is City have not had that fear factor in them for a while now. And that is the problem. With Livramento being there, right? With Livramento being there, I genuinely think that back line is as competitive as it can be, right? As it can be. The people that keep saying, like German Chicken, that you don't need a center back, well, I'm assuming you trust Ruben Diaz then. I'm assuming you trust Ruben Diaz as a center back that can do the job, right? Maybe. I'm not sure if Ruben Diaz is the man for you, but it depends on what are you expecting from a center back. Are you expecting him to defend? Because Ruben Diaz is a good defender, but not all the time, you know? Not all the time. So that is the problem. Kuzanov need to play alongside Gvardiol. Kuzanov is not great, to be honest. But we haven't seen, of course, Kuzanov. You know what I mean? How is Kuzanov going to play? We'll see how it goes, you know? That is what I mean. Like, is he good enough, Kuzanov? We'll see. And I don't think he's good enough. But everyone is talking about, you know what the main problem with City is Rodri. Is Rodri going to be, again, great? Is Rodri going to come back good? Is Foden going to come back good? Everyone that keeps saying that there is a big ifs about Arsenal, is Odegaard going to be good? Will Zubamendi fit in the team? There are big ifs. I think one of the teams that don't have a lot of ifs are Liverpool, in my opinion. The only thing about Liverpool are injuries now, because Liverpool don't have cover for centre backs. They're going to go and try to sign Gehe. They have cover up front. They don't have a lot of cover in the midfield. But Manchester City, if Rodri is gone, for example, if he's not playing well and he plays okay, who's going to fill that midfield hole that he leaves, that we have seen, you know what I mean, that we have seen last season? That is one of the problems that people need to understand, you know what I mean? That is one of the problems that need to be, like, who's going to be that guy in the midfield? Now, Liverpool need two center backs now. Two center backs, not one. Liverpool need two center backs, by the way, not one only. That is a problem. Oh my God, this is. Oh, there's more news about what's his name, Gabriel Jesus actually leaving Arsenal, but we'll talk about it in a bit. I'm just gonna go back to Manchester City. You don't need only you need two, and I mentioned that before. So how? By the way, Reinders, by the way, is a very good player, right? Reinders is a very good player, but I've mentioned before there is no midfielder that came to Man City and actually played well in his first season. That never happened under Pep Guardiola. Under Pep Guardiola, every midfielder that came to City needed time to be embedded in that midfield. And that is why I'm saying that will there be a time where Reinders need to be embedded? And also the Cherki signing. How good is that signing for Manchester City? How much do you think Ryan Cherki is going to contribute next season? And will Omar Marmoush play the same as he played last season? I genuinely believe, I think that Omar Marmoush is going to be phenomenal for Manchester City. Reinders look good. He look okay. But is he going to be like up to, like Reinders is a good player, but is he going to be embedded in that City team right away? We saw a lot of midfielders come to City and struggle a little bit. You know what I mean? But our Man City, I'm going to ask you a question. It's a yes or no question. And there is 700 people, and I'm going to say that again. Guys, we have 440 votes and only 189 likes. How do you vote without actually hitting the like button? The like button, I can show you again, the like button right here. It's simple. You need to display. You need to actually be able to hit. It's the like button is simple. Do I need to show you? Listen. You close that live chat right here. The live chat is here. You close that live chat right here. And the like button looks like thumbs up right here. Hit that like button. You mad? Right here. You see? Right here. Hit that like button, people. Come on now. It's very simple. It doesn't cost you a penny. Some people don't know, James. Believe it or not. I swear to God, James, I've had people don't know where the like button is. People say that start talking good about City and I will like, mate. What do you mean start talking nice? You want me to sit here and tell you what I think or I don't think? You know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm telling you what I think honestly. Pep Guardiola is the factor. But how many, I don't know how many goals will City concede, how many goals will City score. Haaland is going to score goals. One of the things about City is Kevin De Bruyne. Who's going to replace Kevin De Bruyne in that team? And people tell me that he was injured, but still. You know what I mean? Why do you never slander Pep? Look at this. Mo, why you never slander Pep? I did last season. He wasn't great. He wasn't great. You know what I mean? He wasn't good last season. He actually couldn't find the right formula for Manchester City. Yes, at the end he finished third. But at the end, when you watch City, they didn't have fear factor at all. Which is Pep Guardiola rely on that fear factor a lot, by the way. A lot. He relies on the fear factor a lot. And that is something that he doesn't have at the current moment. You know, like he doesn't have that fear factor that people talk about. And that is why you need to actually, but listen, I'm not going to sit here and be disingenuous and tell you that Manchester City are not going to be in the title race. They will be in the title race. I think they are the outside chance of winning the title, actually. I think there will be between them and Chelsea, probably for third, in my opinion. I think it will be between them and Chelsea for the third place. But listen, it depends like what the injuries and all the other factors that will play a major factor in this season. Mo, is Isak and Rodrigo to Liverpool possible from the look of things? Not Rodrigo, though. Not Rodrigo. You know City was the best informed team after January, Mo. Yes, that's good and everything. I still think that when I'm watching City, I don't think, depending on how Rodri plays, I'm not sure that your defense is going to be able to actually sustain a title race until the end. I'm not saying that that is out of the realms of possibility. I'm saying that Liverpool are better. Arsenal are a little bit better. But Liverpool, if they sign Isak, they are a better team than Manchester City, and you have to accept it. Do they have a better coach? No, there is nobody in the league that is better than Pep Guardiola. Without a shadow of a doubt, he is the guy. And if you're going to trust someone to find that solution for the team, it is Pep Guardiola. You know what I mean? That is what Pep Guardiola has actually taught us all, that nobody is better than him in creating a system that will make it work. But I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that City play. I haven't yet seen City play amazing football that will win 10 consecutive games or something like this. That is why I think you're going to be like Chelsea. I don't think that Chelsea are better than you. I just think that maybe we need to actually step back and see what City do in the beginning of the season. Here you go. Looking forward to the season ahead, man. Okay. You're so confident in your team, and I appreciate that. Appreciate this, but when I'm watching City last season, even at the end, some of the games you won were because there was individual brilliance on the team. Like, I don't understand why do people are like not accepting that sometimes, like, you need to step back and wait and see what happens in the season next. Like, I'm not saying that City are not going to win the title, but I'm just going to tell you, if you are now telling me that City are favorites to win the title, you're doing that based on faith. You're not saying that based on conviction, or you're not actually having an argument here that will tell me that City are going to be favorites to win the title. There's no argument here. Are you telling me that you're better? Okay, let me just ask you guys something. Anybody in the chat, you're Liverpool, you're Arsenal, you're City, you're Man United, you're Chelsea, whatever. Where does City rank in the league currently? Currently. You know what I mean? Where do Man City rank currently in the league? Are they first, second, third? Just type one number. You know what I mean? Type one number. Third. Okay. My man saying first. Third, first. Don't repeat yourself. Fourth, third, second. Okay. How am I hating? I'm not hating at all. Third, fourth, third. A lot of people say third or fourth. So can I ask you guys something? Why no one, KDB fan, okay, why are people putting Arsenal ahead of City? Can someone explain to me this? And I wanted to ask this question to everyone. Why Arsenal in your head are ahead of City? Especially you put that City gonna sign Livramento. Okay, Khairi, fine. Why really Arsenal? Okay, fair enough. City defense. Okay, City backline. Arsenal have added more quality. Defense. Okay. Arsenal has better defense than us. Thank you, Rahman. Nice picture. Defense. Someone said because Arsenal must. That is not. Defense for sure. City without KDB. Better midfield. Does people think that Arsenal have better midfield than Manchester City? Mo thinks he's an oracle. He hasn't got a clue. Yet you are here watching. And I'm never sitting here claiming that I'm an expert in football. But I'm definitely brave enough, alhamdulillah, to put my face in front of people and talk about the game. And sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. So at least I'm here. I show my faces in front of thousands of people here on other channels as well. So run up the likes and stop hating, my man. Like, why do people instead better midfield than City is crazy? Okay, hold on. Are we saying okay, Khairi, German chicken wing, City fans, tell me the three midfielders that we are comparing to Zubamendi, Rice, and Odegaard. I need 3 midfielders for City. Tell me 3 starters for City, and we can actually look up and actually see who's better than who. Hit the like button and let me know. And guys, we got 800 people here. We can definitely get to 500 likes. Hit that like button. Okay. Rodri, Reinders, Cherki. Okay, that's 1. Cherki, Rodri, Reinders. Okay. Okay, so everyone now. Okay, so City fans, you agree that Rodri, Reinders, and Cherki. Okay. Is Rodri better than Zubamendi? Probably yes. Is Rodri after the injury better than Zubamendi? That is what you need to ask. Okay, Cherki. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. I'll give you that. Yes. Okay, so Rodri is better than Zubamendi because he actually won Ballon d'Or. I will absolutely never deny that. Rodri is definitely better than Zubamendi. No one can sit here and tell me that Zubamendi is better than Rodri. Okay? Rodri is better. But hear me out. Is Reinders better than Declan Rice? Based on what is Reinders better than Declan Rice? He played an AC Milan team. They were 8th before. He's a very good player. I'm not saying he's bad. But without a shadow of a doubt, really, I think that based on the evidence and what we have seen, definitely Declan Rice gets ahead of Reinders. If you are picking a midfield 3, you're definitely getting Rice currently before we watch Reinders play for City and in the Premier League. And based on the evidence that there is no, again, I'm going to repeat this again, there's no evidence that there is a midfielder that came to Man City and actually bowled in the first season, right? Even Rodri himself didn't work out under Pep. It was a little bit slow until he got embedded. There is nobody, right? Even from last season's form, Declan Rice will get ahead of Reinders currently, right? When now you talk about Cherki and Odegaard. You talk about Cherki and Odegaard. Cherki had a good season at Lyon. He's a good player and everything, right? But basically, you're gambling, choosing Cherki. And you're assuming that Odegaard will be as bad as he was last season, right? You are ignoring the fact that Odegaard had 2 very good seasons before that. And last season, he picked up an injury that kept him out for about 3 months. And then he came back and he didn't look sharp and he looked shit and he didn't look good at all. Fine. I'm going to sit here and tell you that Martin Odegaard has talent. He's a very good player. The problem that happened last season, it might be down to 2 things. That he came back from injury and he was scared. The team was not playing well. The second part is that Odegaard had to drop deep and actually collect the ball from the defense a lot of times. How am I being biased? You are telling me, you fraud, that you're going to choose Cherki over Odegaard because Cherki last season had a good season with Lyon in the league. Are you mad? Are you crazy? Okay, let me see. FB ref. Let me see. You're going to tell me that Cherki has the experience to play for Manchester City? You telling me now? Oh my Allah al-Azim, people. Wallahi, people are crazy. You're telling me that if Pep Guardiola has Odegaard, he's going to start Cherki over Odegaard? Ya Allah. Ta'ala. Ya Allah for the people. Wallahi. Ya Allah for the people. Martin Odegaard. Last season. Oh, here we go. Last season with Lyon. Get result. Yeah, I think this is crazy, actually. Yes, Ryan Cherki had better season in terms of GA. He had 19 GA versus 11 GA for Odegaard. But you are not going to tell me that in the passing, Martin Odegaard is more than him. He plays in a tougher league. In, what is it? What else? In possession. It carries, Martin Odegaard carries the ball more. The total distance is more. Same amount of kind of similar minutes. He touches the ball more. Cherki is a good player. And I'm telling you that Cherki is not going to start for City next season. He's not going to start for City. It's going to take him a little bit of time. And in the 23-24, for example, in the 23-24. Okay, here we go. So you basically, based on last season, Cherki is amazing. Cherki in the season before played 33 games and had 1 goal and 6 assists, while Odegaard had 18 GA. But now I'm sitting here and I'm assuming that Cherki is better than Odegaard. That's it. Cherki is better than Odegaard now. Is that a given now? Are you mad? Like, this is ridiculous. Wallah al-azim. You are insane. Cherki is one of the best passers, creators in Europe. Have some shame, I beg you. But that is based on what? Based on last season, right? So why Odegaard the season before was leading Europe in chances created then? You make me defend Odegaard, and I'm not defending him of last season, right? And I'm not defending him of last season. I am literally looking at Odegaard from the season before and before, where he wasn't injured and he was fit the whole season, right? So you want to compare, what do you want to compare? Foden. Here we go, 23-24. So Foden in the 23-24 was amazing. He had 27 GA, right? 27 GA. And he was very good. He was amazing for Manchester City. Now, last season, which is what you want to talk about now. Last season, 24-25, 24-25, 24-25. You're gonna judge Odegaard based on that season. I'm doing Foden versus Odegaard. Last season, Phil Foden played 28 games, had 7 goals and 2 assists, right? Odegaard had 3 goals and 8 assists. Both didn't have the greatest season, to be honest. Too much recency bias, exactly. As a City fan, Odegaard so far, like too much recency. This is why people think about last season only, but you gotta look at other seasons as well and how that player plays. Like, having one bad season doesn't mean, if you're gonna have this, so you want to tell me that Morgan Gibbs-White is better than Foden then, because Morgan Gibbs-White last season had a better season than Foden? Are you telling me that that is the case? That Szoboszlai is better than Foden, or something like this? You gotta be a little bit, because Foden had a bad season last season, you're gonna say that this player is better than him? No, that doesn't work like this. We gotta absolutely talk about the whole career and how they played for their teams. You know what I mean? Like, how they played for their teams. Foden is proven and Odegaard is not proven. So Odegaard didn't have back-to-back great seasons with Arsenal when he actually was very good in the Arsenal team, and he actually one of the people that led the league in chances created and actually was one of the catalysts of how Arsenal challenged for the league. Really? Are we going to be disingenuous? You will see next season. See the difference, Khairi. I am not like you. I'm not biased. I am actually saying now at the current moment that I'm waiting for next season to see how Cherki gets embedded in the league. I'm not going to judge Cherki. By the way, and Cherki is not as established as Florian Wirtz, for example. But Mo, are you going to have the same energy for Florian Wirtz? No, Florian Wirtz come in. One player of the season in the Bundesliga, won the league with Bayer Leverkusen, playing Champions League football, a German international. No, but Cherki is not that. Cherki had like 3 games with France. He had 1 good season with Lyon, and that's about it. Like, come on. You guys be a little bit honest once. Wallahi, it is not about bias. It is not about the bias. It is not about me being biased, as you guys think. By the way, Zinchenko is asking to leave. Fuck me, bro. Mikel Arteta. It's funny. Funny news. Funny news. Zinchenko. But I'm going to talk about Arsenal. We'll talk about everything. Odegaard, the fraud. That disappears when it matters the most. Okay. Fair enough. We'll see. We'll see if Cherki is going to be amazing. I think Cherki is going to be great. Liverpool will go hard. There's an incoming bid. Yeah, we spoke about that as well. Bro, this is nuts. So this is crazy. If that is fucking true, this is fucking nuts. If Zinchenko have asked to leave Arsenal this summer but has been convinced to stay by Mikel Arteta, bro, fuck off, Mikel. Arteta, you're doing the best Jurgen Klopp impression when he gave Fabinho, when he gave Jordan Henderson new contracts. What the fuck is this, bro? Is he mad? Is Arteta mad? But let's now move on from City. Thank you so much for everyone. By the way, I like this conversation with City people. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. It's about 900 people here. And can we have more than 500 likes live? Support the channel, people. Thank you so much for everyone supporting the channel. Hit that like button. Some people say I'm drunk, Mo. Zinchenko is a good player, experience, and a good backup. So you want Zinchenko. So you have Calafiori and Miles Lewis Kelly, Kivior, Ben White, Timber, Gabriel Mosquera, and you want Zinchenko? So you're telling me that Zinchenko, you cannot free up the fucking wage. How much is he fucking on? How much is he? He's either fucking 150K a week. You fucking free that wage. Free up that wage is 150K. Free up that wage. Don't tell me that you're not signing Rodrigo or you're not signing this because of the wages. If you want to keep this, because this guy's Zinchenko, fucking Ukrainian fraud, fucking bitch as well, this guy. Maybe you're right. Look up the best defense for 2025. Sky Knight, why don't you tell us who's the best defense for 2025? I will believe you, and people will actually make sure that it's true. So you tell me what is going on. You know what I mean? About 28. Cherki versus Odegaard. Yeah, okay. 36. Arsenal news. Let's talk about the Arsenal news and Liverpool news now. Thank you so much. By the way, I just want to tell you thank you so much. This is the first super chat of the show today, the first donation. So I want to appreciate you so much for supporting the channel. Massive shout to you for sending a super chat and supporting the channel. Really, really appreciate the donation. Thank you so much, my friend. Too much energy there. It's too much. Maybe Teta is just playing the game. Zinchenko, if people want him to stay, we'll see. Look up Premier League champions. What do you mean? Mo, who do you think will be top goal scorer next season? Erling Haaland will be the top goal scorer for the league next season. But let's talk about the news, actually. I wanted to speak a little bit. Let's talk about Arsenal and Liverpool, and I wanted to say something. Like, Newcastle are braced for former offer from Liverpool for Alexander Isak. This is paired with the report from Ben Jacobs that Luis Diaz exit, coupled with Darwin Núñez departure, opens the door for the attacker despite confidence in the current options. However, there is no plan to bid blindly for Liverpool. So Liverpool will only make formal offer for Isak if getting encouragement. Are we just still waiting to see what Newcastle are going to do? How much do you think Newcastle will accept? How much are we sitting here and assuming that Newcastle will accept for the bid? And if it's 130 to 140K or something like this, are Liverpool prepared to do this? And is that enough for Liverpool to actually like having Isak, Gakpo, Salah, and Ekitike only? That's 4 attackers, you know what I mean? Liverpool need another attacker there. Is it going to be Rodrigo? By the way, there are news about, my man Diego here. Diego, they are willing to accept offers less than 90 million euros. Liverpool might still go for Rodrigo if they sell Darwin Núñez. Liverpool are not going to sell Darwin Núñez unless they know that they are actually going to be able to actually get someone in his place. You know what I mean? 125. People say 125 plus 10. You know what I mean? You know what? I am not ruling this out. Wallahi, I am not ruling this out. A lot of people have said that at the end, there is going to be a loophole, or Newcastle are going to find a way to actually fund Isak's wages. There are a lot of people, and because, by the way, there is a massive propaganda around, by the way, and I'm telling you, since a couple of days ago, when he actually said that he wants to leave Newcastle, there is a massive backlash from some people in the media. And I'm just not saying only the true Geordie people, but there are other people that keep saying that is, of course, paired with the news about Tino Livramento and him going to Man City and Man City bidding this and Man City bidding that. I'm not saying that Isak doesn't want to go to Liverpool. It makes a lot of sense that Isak wants to go to Liverpool to win trophy. But in the same time, there are people now that are having a little bit of backlash saying that Isak forcing his way out of Newcastle is basically a red cartel. Big up Yasser Habibi. It's a red cartel move. If you listen to some of the media people and saying that why Newcastle in the middle of the project are being forced to sell their biggest asset at the club is actually nuts. Why do you keep fucking saying this, bro? Fuck off. You have Brad Pitt. You have Brad Pitt picture on your YouTube, bro. This is YouTube. What are you doing? Why do you keep fucking saying that I'm deluded, bro? Fucking like, talk about what I'm saying and debunk it. What the fuck? Fuck is wrong with this, bro? He's like, Mo, you're deluded. Mo, you're deluded, bro. Mo, you're deluded. Mo, you're deluded. Fuck it. Okay, I read it, bro. I read it. I read it once. I read it twice. Okay, fine. Great. And then people complain that, Mo, why some people actually do this? Oh, bro, fuck off. Anyway. The red cartel thing, and they are ripping Newcastle of their players. They're in the middle of the project and all this stuff. You don't think that that is true? That Newcastle are being ripped apart while they are in the middle of the project? Their best player is leaving the club, and their best players are leaving the club. Right? Is that something that you don't think that that is the case? Okay, why don't I see when people time people out? Don't time people out, it's fine. I want to, can we listen to what Geordie have said and quickly to see what he actually said about this, you know? Let me just, it's a 4-minute video. We're not going to play it all. We're going to make it like the playback speed is 1.25 and we're going to just listen to what he says. Hopefully you guys can hear what he's saying, you know? Monitor and output, yes. Okay, let's just say, because he's saying stuff that might be true, though.
There is one thing that is always going to come back and stop us from making progress, and that is the bullshit, corrupt PSR rules in the Premier League. And this has been a rude awakening for Newcastle fans, and should be a rude awakening for all football fans outside of the big 5 clubs, as to what the dark reality of PSR just really is now. Because Newcastle have been creeping up the table, you know, adding players, Tonali, Bruno, Anthony Gordon, and we've just been creeping up and thinking, we're building something here. We really are going to start breaking through, you know, sooner or later. It's going to happen. And this moment we're living through right now, this massive slap that we've just received in getting our best footballer taken from us, and probably just the start of some of the other players going as well, it's a reality check that we've reached the point of hearing no further. This moment right here is where the Premier League say to Newcastle, hand your best players over to the clubs at the top because you're not getting in. And before anyone gets what I'm saying wrong, I'm not saying Newcastle should just be able to spend whatever the hell they want and pollute the Premier League with the money the way Man City did, the way Chelsea did. I don't think that was good for football. I think putting rules in place to stop dominance over the Premier League and keeping it a fair playing field is a good thing. But what they've done is, instead of stopping one club being dominant, like a Man City or a Chelsea is, they said, said, we'll allow 4 or 5 to be dominant, but no more than that. Well, then how the fuck is that fair? So what you're seeing now is Newcastle United's owners, who are worth about $1 trillion, being forced to sell their best player to a football club whose owners are worth less than 1%.
Can I just stop here and say a couple of things that are wrong here? That are wrong. Number one, some of Newcastle fans, like through Geordie, are actually spinning it that Newcastle have to sell Isak. Newcastle don't have to sell Isak. Newcastle are not forced to sell Isak. Newcastle are not in danger of breaching PSR. That is reported. Newcastle are going to be forced to sell Isak because Isak wants to leave. That is what he's not telling you. Mama Flossie here, you can vouch for me. You don't have to sell Isak. Newcastle are not in danger of PSR. Isak is asking to make more wages. But Newcastle can say, you're under contract. There is 3 years left. His contract ends in 2028. Newcastle don't have to sell him. He's under contract. He is forced contractually to play for Newcastle. Now, they want to say that Newcastle are forced to sell Isak. They aren't forced to sell. No one is twisting their arm to sell Isak. Only one guy is twisting Newcastle's arm to sell Isak. And Liverpool have nothing to do with it. By the way, Liverpool are saying, we're going to try to get the player that we want. We're going to try to get the player that we like, which is Isak. You know what I mean? Liverpool did nothing wrong. Liverpool, like any other club in the world, they like a player. They think a player fits their team. They go and try to bid for the guy. By the way, also in the same time, logically speaking, and that is reports and that is facts, Liverpool have never spoken to Isak. They're not allowed to speak to Isak unless Newcastle allow them. And Liverpool did not break the rules here. What Liverpool did is they went on and put a bid for Isak. They did nothing wrong. Newcastle are not forced to sell. What he's saying has something wrong. He is building his narrative in something that is completely false. The Premier League are not going to Newcastle and telling them, you're under PSR, you have to sell your player. Liverpool put an offer in, bro. Liverpool literally put an offer in of 120 and it got rejected. And Newcastle said it's not for sale, so don't play that game with me. That is what happened. Liverpool did nothing wrong at the current moment. And no one, as he's saying, no one is forcing Newcastle to sell their player. No one. You guys tell me. Timothy, you did. It's not an official bid, but it's an inquiry about 120. It's reported. I don't have to go and get it back. But let's move past this point. It was approach that it's the same. Approach, inquiry, bid, all the fucking same. It's all the same. That is what is going on. Okay, now there is one guy that needs to be timed out. So why are you watching then? Put the user in time. Now you watch without even commenting for 5 minutes. That is what is going on. So Liverpool didn't do anything bad at all. Hit the like button, people. Let's continue to listen. And okay, so it's easy, but Isak wants to leave because they can't afford his wage increase. He's under contract. He is greedy. It's not PSR. Isak is greedy and wants 300K. He signed a contract for 150K for Newcastle or 120K or whatever he's getting paid at the current moment. He's got him better, and Newcastle can't afford his wage. Newcastle have a contract with the guy. He's greedy or he's ambitious and he wants to. He is making. What is he making? Currently, what is he making? Isak makes 120K as of now, right? Like and I get why True Geordie is angry. You know what I mean? I get why True George is angry because they want to sell his player. Thank you, Omar Habibi. Newcastle failed to sign players. Isak sad, so simple. No, Newcastle signed Elanga. they're going to sign a couple of more players, but again, they're not forced to sell. Let's just hear what he says.
End of our owners. Seems legit. And I understand if you support Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, or Liverpool, you're happy about this because it consolidates your power at the top and you want to keep having a chance of winning titles and you don't want another shark in the shark tank. So I'm not even going to bother talking to you, right? No disrespect. But think about this. For every other football fan in the country, whatever club you support, your only hope of ever becoming a Premier League champion was to have rich owners buy your club. You can't climb up the league without a massive influx of cash. It's not happening. The team that wins the Premier League every fucking season always comes from the top 5 wage payers in the Premier League. That's a fact. Same reason for the last 8 years, we've had 2 clubs win the Premier League. So you cannot break into that elite group without being bought by a billionaire who transforms your club's finances and changes the whole path of your club. It's impossible. It's the only hope anyone else has outside of City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, or even Man United. And that's exactly how Blackburn won the league back in the day. Then Leicester, then eventually Chelsea, and then eventually Man City. That's it. That's the only fucking way. And you know what? As much as it became crazy in the way Chelsea just ridiculously outspent everyone and basically bought 2 football teams and what Man City did, when they first got there, and we were so bored of the same clubs winning over and over and over again, because that's what was happening, obviously. It was fun seeing a new club win the league. It was amazing seeing Leicester win the league. So even if you're a club who never gets bought out by a billionaire, at least it becomes a bit fucking exciting when you've got another club up there upsetting the apple cart. What we've got isn't exciting. It's an insurance policy. Only those 5 clubs can win the fucking league. And clubs like Newcastle, like Aston Villa, like Nottingham Forest, and anyone else who gets bought out in the near future, you're fucked. That dream of being bought out by a billionaire owner and going right to the very top has just died. And you're seeing why right now. And if that doesn't bother anyone, fair enough.
Yeah, but he's wrong here. He's wrong because currently Newcastle can sit with Isak and convince him that, listen, you're part of the project, stay with us, we're going to get you that much money, wait for us, next season is Champions League, we're going to increase your wages, blah, blah, blah. I am telling you, this is not only about the money. The money is part of it, but it's not the whole story. Isak wants to leave because he thinks Liverpool are more attractive currently. He doesn't want to play for Newcastle because he's 25 years old and he wants to play and win the champs and the Premier League. That is the reality. They can absolutely, if they can convince Isak that they're going to win the Premier League or the Champions League, he will stay. He doesn't want to stay. Isak doesn't want to stay because he wants to play for the better. It's the same. If someone is, by the way, Real Madrid, it's the same thing. When Trent said that I want to go to Real Madrid, he is convinced. It's not about the money. Liverpool offered him the money. It's the stature of the football club. He is Trent, deluded or not, he was deluded. He thought that his chances of winning Ballon d'Or increases when he goes to Real Madrid. Players move on like this. Newcastle can free up the wage, try to pay Isak 200k. Something like this. I am telling you, that is what I think. That Isak is convinced this is once in a lifetime. Liverpool might not come for me again. Real Madrid might not come for me again. This is my chance of leaving Newcastle. And I'm saying this again and again and again. This is not a dig at Newcastle or anything. This is fair enough. And if you're a Newcastle fan in the chat and you are not convinced about this, debate me with this. Isak is convinced that him leaving might result in him competing for Ballon d'Or. If him actually now at the current moment looking to win the Premier League, win the Golden Boot of the Premier League, maybe Isak is convinced that his future with Newcastle might have trophies, but in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, not next year. You know what I mean? Not next year. That is maybe what he's convinced about. And I get it. Newcastle have all the right to be upset, but don't be upset at PSR. You are making money off Champions League next season. Be upset at Alexander Isak, the #1 person. And Mama Flossie, please, because you are the Newcastle fan here, please, 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 let me know if I'm saying the #1 factor or person or player or association or something that Newcastle need to be upset about and actually angry at is Alexander Isak himself. Are you expecting your player to shine and the bigger clubs that won the league. And with all due respect to Newcastle and everyone at Newcastle and everybody, Liverpool won the league. They're signing verts. They're spending money. They have Salah and they have a lot of great players currently. You're not expecting the likes of Liverpool and Arsenal to come for your player? It happens. Nottingham Forest made Europe. And Spurs, with all due respect, Spurs. And with all due respect to all the Spurs fans in the chat, Spurs are not a great club. Spurs are not a great club. They're not a fantastic club. They're just a bigger club, probably than Nottingham Forest in terms of revenue. They literally fucking went and snatched one of their best players. Newcastle themselves, by the way. And for Newcastle fans to actually complain, Newcastle themselves are a bigger fish than Nottingham Forest, and they went and snatched Elanga from Nottingham Forest. They literally did that. Newcastle did the same exact thing to Nottingham Forest that they're complaining that Liverpool are doing for them. They went and snatched it. Newcastle themselves did that. You know what I mean? They already did this. But then now, through Geordie's complaining, he has 3 years left at his contract. It is in your hand to convince the guy to stay. You are not forced to sell. And everyone at Newcastle and all the media and all the pundits know exactly what I'm talking about. Newcastle are not forced to sell. He is greedy, or he wants more money, or he wants more trophy. Bro, it's the same. I'm telling you. Let me just read the super chat. Appreciate you guys. We lost Suarez. Suarez wanted to leave. Coutinho wanted to leave because you weren't winning trophies. You'd see a Liverpool fan. Like, there are bigger fish. Always there's a bigger fish than you. There's always a bigger fish. Always. Arsenal lost Henry to Barcelona. Chelsea lost Hazard. Every club lose their best players. Newcastle fans, khalas. Wake up and smell the coffee. It is up to you to convince your player to stay. You're not, again, I'm going to repeat it again. Newcastle are not forced to sell. They are not under PSR scrutiny. They're not. And the 150K more that they're going to pay for Isak, they can free that wage from somebody else. Angus Court is saying Isak head is gone, no way back for him. It depends. I've seen players being convinced. Morgan Gibbs-White was convinced. He already signed. Morgan Gibbs-White signed for a different club, and he literally gone back to what's the called Nottingham Forest. That happened. And by the way, for the people that say it's not 100K, bro, he is on 120K. He's asking for 300K. They can convince him to get 260, 270K, and he'll be okay with it. You know what I mean? And they put bonuses in there. That's extra 150K of the current wages. I'm sure they can do this. John is saying 70-year building a club, fan base, legacy, ethic. Newcastle think they can get to skip the line because of a sugar daddy. Liverpool 160 million fans. Newcastle 5 million fans. Right? Fair enough. Well, fair enough. I get what you're saying. I actually think there is something that he is about to say. By the way, I listened to this video. There is something that he's about to say, and you guys are not going to like it, but I agree with it. By the way, I agree with it. Jang Chicken Wing, that guy is a fraud. He was the biggest City hater for spending money before the Saudi bought Newcastle. All right, I didn't know this. I didn't know this. Thank you so much, German Chicken Wing, for this. I didn't know this. Now he's complaining because he got that rich sugar daddy. He's complaining now that he cannot spend. Guys, there's over 1,000 people in the house. Can we get the likes up a little bit? Over 1,000 people, and I repeat, we can get to 700 likes live, guys, because we have 900 votes. Get me, guys. Help the channel, guys. There is a lot of you here. Help the channel. Let's get the likes up, guys. Come on now. Support the channel. Hit that like button. Come on, people. If you are here, hit the like button. People say he's racist. I don't know if he's racist or not. I'm not going to accuse anybody of it. 20, big up 20 for dropping the 10 piece. Thank you all for supporting in the donations and supporting the channel. You all are absolutely great. Newcastle should just call Isak's bluff. You really think he won't play once the season starts and they find him? Even if he doesn't play for a year, unlikely, you can still get 100 million for him in 26. Fair enough. They should call his bluff. But there is another point. Oh my God, if that happens, it's gonna be ridiculous, to be honest. Let's just listen. You know what I mean? And see, thank you so much for all the donations and you guys getting involved in the conversation. You guys are absolutely phenomenal and amazing for supporting the channel and the donations. Thank you so much, guys, for all this. Let's hear what he says.
But I tell you what, it should, because a competitive league is actually the best thing for football. And that's why I'm not even saying I want Newcastle to be able to spend more than everyone else. I don't want that. But at least make it fair. At least give us rules where we can spend some of the cash that our owners have. Let them invest some money into the fucking club, for Christ's sakes. Maybe even have a cap where clubs can only spend the same amount of money in the Premier League so that actually we get more of a level playing field and we see who the real tactical master.
I actually said, people remember me, I suggested this. I actually think the wage cap should be the same for all the clubs, regardless of your revenue, and that is, you have to have something to actually have all the clubs, right, spending the same money, and now you see who's bigger. But I'm telling you, even if that happens, Newcastle, Isak's head is gonna be absolutely wanting to leave, by the way. Wanting to leave. And by the way, I disagree with the revenue should be, everyone should have the same exact spending. That is what I mean, right? Everyone would have the same spending, and now you see the level playing field. That is what I think, in my opinion. And I'm actually on this. That is what I think. And as long as you can back your spending with something for the club not to go bankrupt, I think that should be the case. No, that, like, you get more money, so you have more revenue for the club. You have more money. By the way, the difference between the Premier League clubs in the difference is not a lot. I believe that PSR, everyone should have the same wage cap, wage cap. That is my opinion, because you have the same. That's a plain level field, right? You know what I mean? Like, you're allowed. Otherwise, nobody. Because you know the problem is, Devin, there's only certain clubs that can win the league. You go for there is more about renovating your stadium, the pitch, training grounds, and all this stuff. Yeah, but I see your point. Where does the more revenue go, though? But you should be allowed to have the same wages, at least. Yeah, you guys are right, Anna. I think about it again. Yeah, you're right. You make more money when you win. Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, you guys are, and actually, so who has a different idea then? But what the difference in spending is not, okay, the difference in spending is not actually similar to the difference in the prize money. So maybe you make it, they're all kind of close to each other, but the difference now is a lot. It's based on revenue and stuff like this. And that is, the revenue is built over years and years and years. Yeah, but you guys are right. Something need to, what is the fuck is this? What is the right and what is the left? Right, let's listen. Yeah. Let's see what happens again. Let's see, continue.
Masterminds are, because there's no way you can sit there and say Pep Guardiola being allowed to buy all the best players for fucking 10 years didn't give him a massive advantage over every other manager. And we're sitting there going, well, how does he do it? Well, that's how he fucking did it. Let's level the fucking playing field. Do something. There's no way that going from an unfair system where Man City were allowed to outspend everyone to then stopping anyone else from breaking into the top 4 or 5 is a solution to this. Because there's every chance right now that if we weren't being kneecapped by the cartel who run football, and we were allowed to replenish our squad and grow the squad that Alexander Isak deserves to have around him, and we're able to pay him the money he deserves, which we've got, by the way, he'd be quite happy staying at Newcastle and would have a chance of fucking kicking on now. Instead, we're going to have to sell, gamble with that money, and who the...
He don't have to say, but I want to say something. Actually, I just thought about it again. You know, he's talking like this because he's a Newcastle fan and he knows that his owners can spend like Liverpool, like Man City, like Man United. But what if Luton is there and they were there and Luton don't have the money? So why Luton are not going to be able to spend? Because Newcastle were bought and they hit the jackpot and the Saudi PIF were able to negotiate with Mike Ashley and buy the club. So what about the other one? You know what I mean? What about the other clubs? What about the rest of the league? Like, he wants to be, like, through Geordie, he wants his club to be able to spend like Man City. And like, okay, forget Man City because they have rich owners. Like Liverpool. And remember, the Liverpool owners don't put a lot of money. The Cronkies don't put a lot of money at the club. But they're spending from the revenue. But because he has money, he wants to be able to spend similar to the Chelsea people or the Man City people. But what about the other clubs that don't have the money? What about the, who else in the league that can spend money? What about Crystal Palace that cannot spend that much money? You know what I mean? Like, is that fair to them if Newcastle suddenly now jump ahead of the rest of the pack and they are now cannot spend the money? Like, what about the owners of Fulham? What about the owners of Sunderland? What about the owners of Wolverhampton Wanderers? Are these people being... So because he's talking like this, because he knows that the PIF, that the Saudi Arabia have a lot of money. You know what I mean? That is why he is in his head. That is why he's talking with his chest. Let us spend like the rest of them. Let us, everyone do the same. If you want to do the same, that means everyone has to be able to spend like the least rich club, not the most rich club. You know that you can spend, but the rest cannot. Like, yeah, I don't get it. There has to be a solution for this. I don't know the solution. Big up Terry Tips for the super chat. I don't know the solution, guys. We're less than 9 likes away from 500, and I said I want 700 likes. Hit that like button, people. Like, there has to be another solution. I'm not an expert. There are people that studied this, and there should be, you know what I mean, a solution for this. But I repeat again, he is wrong. Newcastle don't have to sell. The player's head got turned. Terry saying his opinion is poo. He called all Muslims terrorists. Show me the video that he said that. Show me a video, Terry, that he said that. I'm a Muslim and you know that. Alhamdulillah. So show me a video where he actually said this. I'm not sure if he actually said that, you know. So show me the video when he said what he said and I will. But again, him saying this has nothing to do with his opinion on the football. I don't judge people like this. Like, I don't know the guy personally. I'm just playing his video. Thank you so much for telling us. Let's just continue to hear what he said.
The fuck knows if those gambles will come off. Usually in football, it's hit and miss, isn't it? And we're giving away a sure thing. And what happens to Liverpool? They get stronger and stronger and stronger. This isn't about them. It's not a personal thing. It doesn't matter who the fuck he was going to. The process is the same. You poach all the best players from the clubs below you, even when they've got more money than you. It's mental.
Yeah, but he's wrong here. You know what I mean? He's wrong. Because basically what is going on isn't that Liverpool are poaching the players because they have more money. Liverpool are taking the player because... Like Arsenal taking Eze. Eze's head is turned, even though Crystal Palace won a trophy last season. And Eze's going to Arsenal. It's not about the money. Eze going to Arsenal is about him wanting to play for Arsenal. Him convinced that Arsenal are a better player. João Pedro leaving Brighton wasn't about the money. João Pedro went to Chelsea because he's convinced that the Chelsea project is more convincing than the Brighton project. Newcastle can sit down with Isak, convince him that our project is more promising than the Liverpool project. You know what I mean? And he will stay. That's the reality. Liverpool at the current moment is more attractive than Newcastle. That is reality that he doesn't want to see. He doesn't want to see it. And he refuses to see this. And he keeps talking about the money. which is wrong. He is wrong. That is not what is going on here. He is completely wrong. Like, this is fucking weird that he's talking about, you know, he's talking about, oh my God, they have to sell. Nobody has to sell, broski. You don't have to sell. You are not forced to sell, bro. You're not. Do I like... Okay, let me just establish something. Do I like that Isak is going to Liverpool? I don't. I don't like that Isak is going to Liverpool. I would be against it, you know? I would be against Isak going to Liverpool. I want Newcastle to get better. I want Southampton to get better. I want Brighton to get better. I want Villa to get better. I'm against it, right? I don't like it. I want all the clubs to have good players, right? To have competitive league, because it's not fun if 2 or 3 clubs are having the best team and the best players. You know what I mean? It is not about... That is not me against Liverpool. I want Newcastle to do well. I want another good team to compete. I think it's good for us that we see, and I'm telling you, the best period for me in the Premier League is between 2009 and 2018, because there is no club that won it back to back. 2009, Man United, 10 Chelsea, and you know the rest of them. No club has won it back to back. It was the most competitive time for me in the Premier League. You go to a season, and every year you get a different Premier League winner. I like that. I want this to happen. I don't want to see Barcelona, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Bayern Munich, Bayern Munich, Bayern Munich, Bayern Munich. I don't want to see Juventus, Juventus, Juventus. To be honest with you, as a neutral, the only club and the only league I want to see one team win is Inter, because I support Inter. You know what I mean? But I call this, that is not good for the league. If Inter win it every season, it's good for footy judge Mo. It's not good for the league. We need more winners for the league. You know what I mean? Exactly that. You get the point here. You actually said it before I even say it. It's good for you, but I'm speaking from my point of view, not from your point of view. I get everyone wants their team to win every season, but I'm telling you that it's not good for the league. If Inter win the league for more years, that is not good for the league. The league gets weaker. Less viewership, the league gets weaker, by the way. That is what is going on. And I admit that I want Inter to win every game, but that is not the good. Like, all of you want your team to win it every season, and I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. But in the same time, you want to see, like, as a neutral, I want to see different teams win the league. I like it for my club. You know what I mean? Big up Fonzie saying, good afternoon, Mo. Hope you're having a good day. I'm having a good day because you are here and I saw your donation. Thank you so much. I'm having now a better day, actually, with you being here, Fonzie, like all the other viewers as well. So thank you so much. Terry, your mod sent you mate thread. It's true. Listen. Okay. Where is that? You guys sent me that on. I didn't receive it, to be honest. I didn't. Where did you send it? I don't see it, Terry. So where did you send it? It's not on Twitter. I don't have a message request. Okay. All right. Do you guys? Yeah. Redline Tarenga just sent it to me. Do you guys want? I'm gonna listen to it. You know. Shit. Let me check. That'll be hilarious. Let me listen. About, you know, he's talking about, oh my God, they have to say.
Andrew Tate's got God on his side now. There's no way Brian would win that.
Although I would gladly blow myself up if I could take that fucking shit bag with us.
That's the use of a stereotype there, which is obviously not what he...
I'm just saying, if he really wants to prove it, do the right thing. Let's see how about that life you really are.
Although, not all Muslims. Andrew Tate got God on...
Yeah, he's making fun of Andrew Tate. Fuck this guy. He's making fun of of all Muslims. Fuck this guy. Yeah, it's fucking piece of shit if he said that. I'm not sure if he apologized or not. Some people just slip and say stuff that they don't mean, and I'm not sure. But because I am a very forgiving person when it comes to these things, even though I'm a Muslim, some people just slip and say stuff in the moment, and they maybe apologize later, and people forgive them. I'm not someone who like, as long as you didn't hurt anyone, like actually ended someone's career or hurt anyone or did something that did like a damage that is continuous, I'm convinced that you can forgive everyone. You can forgive. That is my beliefs, to be honest. That's what God told us. You guys know exactly that Rasul, Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, has forgiven a lot of people after they said a lot of stuff. And so we're not, that's basically my opinion about this. I'm not even reading your comments currently, to be honest. I didn't see his apologies. But as I'm telling you guys, Rasul, Prophet Muhammad والسلام, forgiven a lot of people after said a lot of stuff. But that's why I'm gonna remove him from the screen actually now. My man here, Yushi, thank you so much for the donation, Yushi. To be honest, better way would be giving new owners a break from PSR for a limited period of time, say 2 to 4 transfer windows, then bring them back into the system. But that is unfair. So every rich owner gets to spend what they want. That is unrealistic. You know what I mean? This Bomba. Fabrizio Bomba! Liverpool are prepared to go big for Alexander Isak after Luis Diaz is done. Even keen on the move and not even talks with the Saudi clubs. Only Liverpool up to Newcastle now, with Liverpool waiting. So basically what is going on here is Isak at the current moment is, it's not about the money. He's convinced that he wants to go to Liverpool. Why are Fabrizio Bomba? Basically, it's a repeated tweet, to be honest. He actually have said that plenty of times. Newcastle had a lot of debt issues, okay? A lot of debt issues. PIF cleared that up, and yet that gets held against them in PSR, punishing for saving the clubs literally. Doesn't make sense. Year 1 or 2 should be PSR free for new owners. I don't know why they didn't give Newcastle, and everyone knows that there was a lot of voices against the Saudi takeover. Everyone knows that there was a lot of problems and there was a lot of voices against the Saudi takeover. It's xenophobic. They're talking about human rights and shit like this, and they don't look at their countries, and everyone violates human rights. Nobody talks about human rights when it's for Gaza, but everyone talks about human rights when the Saudis are coming to take over the club, basically. So yeah, there was a lot of difference between the Chelsea ownership and Newcastle ownership, basically. And people keep talking about the Saudis and sports washing and all this shit, and it's basically bullshit. You know what I mean? You know exactly what happened there and why. Like they spoke about the World Cup in Qatar in a way, but no one will actually have any face to talk about things that happen here in America because America is hosting the next World Cup. So it's just hypocrisy at its best from the media. We all know this. Everyone knows this. You know what I mean? Everyone knows this, but I'm not gonna, like, everyone knows the hypocrisy and the pick and choose in the media about what to talk about and what not to talk about, but I'm not gonna go there, to be honest with you. I literally just, this is Fabrizio's Bomba in front of you. Honestly, Mo, stop letting people rage bait you. This was years ago, and he made a full apology about it. He made an error. And that's why I'm saying I'm willing to forgive everyone. I'm willing to forgive everyone. Thank you, Ola, for sending this. Like, if someone made a mistake, a lot of people make mistakes, and basically that happens all the time. You know what I mean? And if they apologize. If he apologizes, that is fine. Liverpool are prepared. I want you guys to listen to a video. Before we actually end this show, before I go to Al-Ahwa, I want you to thank you so much for everyone supporting the channel, sending super chats. You all are fucking legends. You all are legends. And we reached 500 likes. We can actually, and we reached like 1,000 votes. Can you imagine? We get 1,000 votes. So 1,000 interactions and not even 700 likes. Hit that like button. Let me just play the video for you. That would be fucking funny as fuck. Listen to this.
What are the chances this works out to be another Kevin De Bruyne or Mohamed Salah or Romelu Lukaku in 3 years' time? What, I mean, that sounds laughable. We're not.
For the people that don't know who is this is Jordan Jarrett Bryan. By the way, I have all the respect in the world for Jordan Jarrett Bryan. He is someone that I did my first ever Premier League podcast with him, by the way. First ever Premier League. It was on a channel called Football Worldwide. And he agreed. The channel had 100 subscribers and he agreed to come on the channel. I'm trying to get him on the channel again. I love the guy. And I'm just going to tell you something. Jordan Jarrett Bryan, I don't know if people know who Jordan is. Wallah al-Azim. One of the reasons and one of the main reasons is why I wanted to speak about football, and I took the courage to speak about football online. And I used to speak about football all the time with my friends on coffee shops. You know how it works. Is listening to Jordan Jarrett Bryan on the Football Daily. Jordan Jarrett Bryan is one of the people that made me want to do football podcast. And I emailed The Guardian to actually get involved with the Guardian podcast with Barry Glendenning and the guys. I actually love the guy, and I think he's one of the best guys when he speaks about football. Let's hear what he says.
None of us are really having him right now. But what are the chances that Chelsea have given us a Chelsea's smiling? What are the chances that in 3 years' time, Madueke is one of the best wingers in Europe? Is that completely out of the picture?
Bro, we could have got Kvaratskhelia for 60 mil in January. We bought Madueke for 52 in summer. I'm
just saying.
Sorry, but
De Bruyne left Chelsea, Mohamed Salah left Chelsea, and they all won big trophies afterwards and went on to do big things. So I'm just saying, let's go positive, boys. Let's say in 3 years' time, we look back on this podcast and we're like, remember when we signed Madueke and no one was having him? What are the chances this works?
Fucking phenomenal. No, bro. He's not completely wrong. But remember, Salah at Chelsea was horrific, bro. He's not completely wrong. Salah at Chelsea was horrific. Do you guys remember that? Salah was like, oh my God. You remember Salah took a shot and it went to a throw-in. And now look at Salah being one of the best players in the world. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that he actually turns out to be. I'm not saying he's going to be one of the best wingers in the world, but he is playing devil's advocate, and he's saying that maybe there is something here to be seen, you know? Like he said, Kevin De Bruyne, now when he left Chelsea, went to Wolfsburg, Salah did well at Basel. Okay, so did Madueke at PSV. That's why Chelsea bought him. You remember or not? Do you remember or not? Like, that's why Chelsea bought Madueke, because he was balling at PSV. You know what I mean? He's playing devil's advocate, you know, like, and I think that Jordan Jarrett Bryan here is saying that it's not out of the realms of possibility that this happens. None of the people that when Salah left Chelsea thought that he would come to the Premier League back and he would be like this. Nobody, right? Nobody have thought about this, like he would be that good. You know what I mean? I like the guy. I like Jordan Jarrett Bryan. I don't think Noni Madueke is going to be the best winger in the world. The Isak issue feels the same like the Gyokeres with Sporting and Arsenal. Isak asked Gyokeres for advice on what to do. No, it's not that, but all I have to tell you is that when Gyokeres wanted to leave Sporting and go to play for a different club, when Eze wants to leave and go to play for Arsenal, when Jack Grealish, when Harry Kane wanted to leave Spurs to go to play for Manchester City. It is the same that happened. You know what I mean? That is what is going on. So for me, listen, the Isak issue. Thank you, Hakai, for the super chat. Really appreciate you. You want the link of the tweet? I'm going to put it on the chat right after and in the show. Like, this is someone that, but listen, if Arsenal, I actually didn't get to speak about Arsenal and Eze and after the game today. By the way, Max Doman, what a football player. The guy is phenomenal and amazing. This kid is going to have a big future, but he needs a clear path at the end. You know what I mean? Like, he needs a clear path for Arsenal and what is going on. Don't post the link. I will post it after. It's right in front of me. Don't post it now. What I want to say is that the left winger for Arsenal, it looks like it's something that needed to resolve. And probably Rodrigo has to be there. I don't think Trossard and Martinelli are good enough. I'm not sure if they're going to go back, if Martinelli is going to go back to his best. And that midfield, Odegaard looked okay coming on in the second half. Nwaneri didn't look fantastic. Odegaard looked okay. I'm still yet to be convinced that Odegaard will go back to his best. It will be a major problem at Arsenal if Odegaard doesn't go back to his best. You know what I mean? So it is going to be a big problem. I think that Eze solved this, but at the same time, I still think that Arsenal on that left side might need a winger. I don't know who the winger is, and it might not be Eze. I actually think that Arsenal should actually sell one of Martinelli and Trossard, because if Rodrigo is available and Liverpool are not going for him, and Liverpool are spending the money on Odegaard was good. I said he was good. I didn't say he was bad. The left winger is a more pressing issue, to be honest. And if Liverpool are not going for Rodrigo, and Rodrigo is going to go for like below 90 million euros, which is basically about 75 million pounds, you fucking should do everything in your hand. Try to get Rodrigo. Fucking offload Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus, sell whoever. Just get Rodrigo over the line, to be honest. That is what I think. And also, Rafa Leao. I love Rafa Leao. I don't think that Arteta will be able to control the guy. The guy is a diva. You know what I mean? He's a diva, you know? Like, he is someone that is a big diva, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to control the guy. To be honest with you, it will be tough for him. Like, he is a great player. You know what I mean? But Leao, like, he doesn't defend, he doesn't go back. And I see still Arsenal, all their wingers go back all the way back. And Arsenal need to stop this sometimes. You know what I mean? And by the way, if no one is going to go and get Rodrigo, by the way, Rodrigo, do you know how much is Rodrigo on for Real Madrid? Like, do you know how much is Rodrigo on at the current moment? Rodrigo currently is on, bro, 240k euros bonuses, you know? Sorry, 240. So basically he was on 200k pounds. So basically, if Real Madrid have to sell him and there is nobody that is willing to pay him, you can literally get him for 250k a week or something like this. The guy wants to have 300k a week. Bro, he's not even, nobody's going to absolutely give him that much. Nah, yeah, 250k pounds if you offload half of Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus makes more. Kai Havertz makes more. So nobody's paying him that money, to be honest. Bro, it's not, people think that it is in his hand. It's not in his hand, broski. It is not in his hand, you know? Like, he needs to understand that it depends on what other people offer, you know? Like, if he thinks that people are going to offer him that much money, it's up to him. Nobody's paying that much money for him. And by the way, Bayern Munich are getting Luis Diaz. Who's gonna buy him? Who does he think he's gonna? Where is he gonna go? He needs to lower his expectation. Broski, Real Madrid don't want you. Bayern Munich bought Diaz. Liverpool don't want you. Are they gonna go Man United? Chelsea are getting Xavi Simons. No one wants you, bro. Lower your expectation. Lower your expectations. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end the show. Thank you for everyone. PSG don't want him. They don't want him. PSG said they distanced themselves from Rodrigo. They don't want him. PSG, by the way, Premier League clubs have the upper hand in the Rodrigo situation. Real Madrid want to get rid of him. He thinks he's a superstar and he's going to go demand 300K. Bro, wake up and smell the coffee. No one is paying you 300K. Everyone has their wingers. Even Barcelona got Marcus Rashford. Wake up and smell the coffee. That's why I think Arsenal should go for him. Or even Liverpool should go for him. But if Liverpool are going to put all their money in Isak's basket, you have to think about it and say, yeah, there is a chance Arsenal can sign him. Liverpool can sell Darwin Núñez and try to go sign him and say, it's 250K. It's either that or you're rot at Real Madrid. Rot at Real Madrid. They're not going to play you. Xabi Alonso is going to put you on the bench. You're not even going to be chosen for Brazil's next World Cup. You have 3 years left at your contract. You make 240K. Your bonuses, you're not going to make your bonuses. It's either you sign a new contract to a different club and you make guaranteed 250K or you're at home. Bayern Munich are off the table. They bought Diaz, bro. Wake up, Rodrigo. Wake up, my man. No one wants you. If he doesn't want to leave, he can rot on the bench. They're not using him. They are literally, Real Madrid are literally putting out information that he's for sale. They want to get rid of him. If this guy wants 500K, he can ask his mom to pay him 500K or his dad 500K, but no club is paying him 500K, bro. He can sit on the bench and get 200K from Real Madrid for the rest of his contract. That is fine. Or he can go somewhere else, prove himself, make 250K and prove himself and play football. Or you can sit in Xabi Alonso's bench. I'm not talking bad about his parents. See, you're being sensitive now. I'm not talking bad. I'm saying his parents can pay him his wages if he wants, but no one is going to pay him. He can go to Saudi Arabia then. He can go to Saudi Arabia. Anyway, thank you so much for everyone that thank you so much for everyone that actually put the super chat on. Appreciate you so much. I'm going to let you guys go to the Lahwa. I'll be there on the Lahwa today, of course, 100%. Yes, I'm going to let you guys go. I will see. Let's go, guys. I will be on the Lahwa. Give me 2 minutes and I will be there. I don't know who I'm cooking today, but I'll be there, guys. I will see you guys soon. And we're out of here, people. يكتب